نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Abu Tufail, one of the tabi'een, said that Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, was asked, did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam grant you something special which he did not grant to anyone else? So Ali said, no, he did not specify us with something other than the general public, except to what I have in my sheath. And this is where you put your sword. So it's like something that you put in. So he took out a piece of paper, and in it was written, may Allah Azza wa Jal curse those who slaughter to other than Allah. May Allah the Almighty curse those who change the landmarks of the land. May Allah curse those who curse their parents, and may Allah curse whoever gives shelter to a muhdith. See, when someone says, I'm going to curse Sheikh Asim. Sheikh Asim, you're stupid. You are a moron. He's cursing me, right? In Arabic, this is not cursing me. He's insulting me. In Arabic, if he says, Allah yil'anak, this is the Islamic word of curse, of la'an. So this is what I'm going to relate to when I speak about curse. So now, please refocus. When I say curse, I mean to get someone out of the mercy of Allah. May Allah curse the transgressors. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, in so many hadith, may Allah curse, meaning to take out of Allah's mercy. So many categories of people. One, the one who steals. Two, the one who fornicates. For women, for example, the Prophet cursed the women who pluck their eyebrows. A lot of the women do this, don't they? In Saudi Arabia, I don't know, I'm not talking about Malay, I'm talking about Saudi Arabia. They have it like crazy. They go and pluck their hair, their eyebrows, either plucking or cutting with the scissors, or shaving and then drawing again. Seriously, this is crazy. Women just want to be beautiful. Is it wrong? No. But do it in the halal way. So Allah cursed, the Prophet cursed those who do this. The Prophet also cursed those who connect their hair with extensions. In Malay, they don't have any problem with that because their hair is, mashallah, naturally good. In Arabia, we have like hair like this, afros, and it's very, very strange. So they have to, put chemicals on it, soften it, then put extensions and make it big. And all of this is haram. They're cursed. So now, in Arabia, if I see a woman coming with plucked eyebrows, I said, may Allah curse you. Is this permissible? Some say yes, some say no. It's an issue of dispute. Everything you people ask about, say, it's an issue of dispute. Is this halal or haram? Issue of dispute. So those who say it is halal to curse this woman who has eyebrows plucked, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, now they're increasing, mashallah. 5, 6, okay, maybe 5%. Those who say it's haram, raise your hands. Mashallah, then again 15%. 80% undecided. Or asleep, or hungry. And there is a fourth possibility. They own beauty parlors. Shirk. It's very easy. Any form of worship you devote to other than Allah is considered shirk. Any questions? So if I pray to, I have a sister, Ya Allah, I hope she sees this. She had sent me literally in the past month more than 100 emails. Every email she says, Sheikh, is it dutiful to my husband that I am worshipping him? She's obsessed by obeying her husband is shirk. And I keep saying, no. Okay, if you're dutiful to your parents, are you worshipping them? She keeps on rotating and coming back to the same. There are Muslims who are obsessed. When I say obsessed, I mean they're sick. Wallahi, I feel sorry. I have so many questions on OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. People doubting their wudu. Sheikh, if I come out of the toilet and I touch the knob of the door, and before me was a person, and I don't know if he washed his hands or not. So is my hand considered to be najis, nabak, as they say in Urdu? And if I touch the TV and the kitchen and the couch, should I wash all of this? What kind of questions do I get? Wallahi, I get hundreds of questions like this. First, it starts with purity. Then it starts with the food. Then it starts with their self-hygiene. Then it starts with, am I married or not? He comes to me, Sheikh, I divorced my wife. I said, okay, she's divorced. He says, no, I didn't say it. It's in my mind. So she's not divorced. Yes, but I keep on telling myself, did I say it or not? And he keeps on coming. I said, Akhi, she's not divorced, because even if you say it, you are insane, and the insane's divorce is not valid. Of the brothers in Malaysia, when they come and shake hands, they say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What are you doing? This is ruku', and bowing cannot be except to Allah. Be careful. Oh, Sheikh, this is a custom. Custom, immigration, tax offices. This is your problem. In my religion, this is what? Bowing. Even if you play karate or judo, if you're Japanese, it is not permissible. Nodding, some scholars say it's haram. Others say it's okay, nodding. So when someone says, hi, Ibn al-Qayyim says it's haram. Ibn al-Qayyim says this is haram because imitating the kuffar. This is his time. Nowadays, we do this, I don't know, they have so many symbols. This is how. Kissing the hands of your parents is permissible. No problem with that. It includes bowing. If you're not going to break your mother's shoulder and left ear. I just want to, no. You have to do this, but it's not included in the bowing process because it's kneeling for the kissing of the hand. It's permissible. How would you change the landmark? Here, now, it's probably difficult. In Arabia, in the rural areas, this happens overnight. I have 100 square meters. I go to bed. I wake up in the morning. It's 90. What happened? My neighbor came at the night, moved the fence a little bit. His land is bigger. Mine is smaller. In Arabia, a lot of killing results from this. You wake up, you find your property is short. You are in dispute. You can't prove it. You go to the judge says, bring me your evidence. You don't have evidence. You end up killing him. His son ends up killing you. Your son ends up killing his brother. And the feud goes on and on. This is why Allah takes out of His mercy those who change the landmarks. In schools, unfortunately, it happens even with the youngsters, jokingly. So when two youngsters in the university or at high school meet one another and they haven't seen each other for a long time, لعنة الله على أبوك. فينك يا شيخ? Where have you been? May Allah curse your father. May Allah curse your mother. And he's joking, happy. And he says, may Allah curse your father as well. The other one replies, this is indirect. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, it is a major sin to curse one's own father. And the companion says, oh Prophet of Allah, who would curse his own father? Who would curse his own mother? He said, you curse another man's father and he curses your father in return. So this is indirect. The Prophet says, do not bring this to your father by cursing others' fathers. And it's like touche. You curse my mother, I curse your mother. You accuse me in my honor, I accuse you in your honor. If your house is made of glass, what? Don't throw people's houses with stones. Muhdith has a number of interpretations. One of them is an innovator, someone who makes innovation, bid'ah. You know bid'ah? We Wahhabis all bid'ah, bid'ah, bid'ah. We have nothing called Wahhabi. No one in Saudi Arabia is called I'm a Wahhabi. They will laugh at you. Yet people are trying to tarnish the reputation of the Salafi da'wah, of the Wahhabi, of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, so that they can keep people away. It is called Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, or called Salafiyya. Nothing as Wahhabis. Chapter 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 3. Allah said, and this ayah was revealed on the day of Arafah, on the 10th year of Hijrah. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. Today I have completed your religion. وأتممت عليكم نعمتي, and perfected my favor upon you, and accepted Islam to be your religion. If it is part of the religion that was completed on the 10th year of Hijrah, then it's good, do it. If it is something not part of the deen, then it is what? Bid'ah, an innovation. Simple as that. And you cascade this on everything we have in life to know whether you're following the Sunnah or you're having a new innovation. Anything. So this watch, it's Tag Ur. Is it an innovation or not? Was it at the time of the Prophet ﷺ? So, it's not an innovation? It is. Those who say it is not, raise your hands. Okay. It is not an innovation. Okay, alhamdulillah. Those who say it is an innovation, raise your hands. MashaAllah. None of them has a watch shop. Akhi, an innovation is related to religion. If this was an innovation, how come a Salafi Sheikh is wearing it? What are you talking about? This is 11,000 ringgits. It's a gift, by the way, it's not mine. Someone gave it to me. I never buy such stuff. So, an innovation is related to religion. Your car is not an innovation because it's not related to religion. But if someone comes to me every Friday and sends me a WhatsApp, Jum'ah Mubarakah, classification? Bid'ah. Now, is it a serious and big bid'ah as slaughtering to other than Allah? No, of course not. But who cares how big or small it is? Our religion is based on following the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ. You follow him, you go to Jannah. You divert a little bit and say, yeah, but he didn't do it, but maybe he did it and it was not reported to us. Some people say this. He did it, but it was not reported to us. If it was not reported to us, then it is not part of the deen. Because Allah said, today I have completed your religion. Part of being complete, that it all came to us. Otherwise, the sky is the limit. I can say the Prophet did this particular sin, but it was not related to us. The Prophet used to beat his wife every single day, but it was not related to us. This is nonsense. Religion is crystal clear. The Prophet said, I have left you on a clear sheet. The day and the night is separated. It's so clear that no one can have any ambiguity in it. This is the beauty of our religion. You don't need a cleric, a sheikh, a priest to explain religion to you. It's in black and white, Quran and Sunnah. Where I'm getting this information from? From my pocket? I'm making it up? It's all referenced. But you need to do some research. And if you do some research, then there's no need for me to lecture you. This is a big problem for me. So this is why you stay ignorant and I will teach you. No problem in that. Seriously, Islam is a beautiful religion. You don't need clerics, interpreters to interpret you. It's in black and white. 95% of it, any layman can understand. 5%, you need fine tuning. from people who are more knowledgeable in you, more knowledgeable than you, to explain and to bring the rationale behind it. So when we come to innovation, it's a serious thing. Whenever you innovate in Islam, you are actually devastating and destroying a sunnah. Each innovation destroys a particular sunnah. The more the innovations, the less the sunnah is, and it's a different religion altogether. Now, how can we relate to the authenticity of a hadith? The science of hadith is a very high-level science. It's not for Tom, Dick, and Harry to comment on. When there is a hadith, only a scholar of hadith can comment on it. So, Sheikh Asim, are you a scholar of hadith? The answer is no. I wouldn't be with you here if I was a scholar of hadith. I would be in my ivory tower, doing my research and giving fatwas. A scholar of hadith is a person who had spent so many years, like Imam Bukhari, in researching, memorizing, analyzing the hadiths. So if it goes against the Quran or the Sunnah, it is not accepted. But who has the ability to reject it? Only the scholars of hadith who know the totality of the hadith. Not for you sitting there on your couch saying, I don't like this hadith. Why don't you like this hadith? It doesn't sound good. No. Does this go in line with the general concept of Islam? Yes. Do I hear no? All yes? Raise your hands if yes. Yeah, these people are negative. Where do you get them from? Get someone active, being hyper. So if someone is under gunpoint and they tell you either you prostrate to Buddha or to this cow or to idols, or we will kill you. And you say, no, I would rather die. And they kill you. This is not what Islam tells you. Islam tells you, preserve your life, live another 20 years of productivity, do good things for Islam, and prostrate. Because your heart is filled with Iman. So this is point number. Do you understand me? Okay, alhamdulillah. Ya Rabbi lak alhamd. People are awake still. Whoever does not pray at all, not a single prayer in the whole year, is a kafir. If you're married to one, leave them. Because he's not a Muslim, or she is not a Muslim. If he prays on and off, prays 2 times a day, 1 time a day, then he's a Muslim, but he is very sinful. Try to advise him, keep on trying your level best to call him back to Islam. And there is on YouTube a beautiful, because I did it, a beautiful debate between Abu Amina, Bilal Phillips, and myself. We did it about 4 years ago in Birmingham in the UK, before I was banned from entering UK. This means I'm famous. And I'm happy. When they ban, I'm banned, alhamdulillah. Do not drink wine, for it is the key to every evil. What is the hadith? The hadith is, وَلَا تَشْرَبَنَّ الْخَمْرِ. This is crystal clear. So anything that intoxicates you, whether it's beer, it's vodka, it's tequila, it's gin, it's bourbon, it's scotch, it's whatever, it's all haram. You cannot consume it. Anything that takes your mind, if consumed in large quantities, 1 drop is haram. There is a hadith where the Prophet says to a companion, you and your wealth belong to your father. You know this hadith? Yes? Every father knows this hadith by heart. The children, no, is it sahih? Is it authentic? I've heard it, but I'm not sure. It is authentic. So a multi-millionaire like myself. Why are they laughing? Okay. Manish, I forgive you. Hello? You have a lot of money like me. it's okay. It's best to give it to him, and Allah would quadruple it for you up to 700 times. Allah will return it to you. You did not work hard for the money, did you? Allah gave it to you. There are so many people who work 10 times more than you and cannot get 1/10 of what you have. So the provider is Allah Azza wa Jal. So don't hold back. Who are those in power? The government, the ruler. They are in power. Do not contend with them. Do not object. Do not oppose. Do not riot. Do not go on protest. Are you crazy? Don't you see what happened in Yemen? Don't you see what happened in Syria, in Libya, in Egypt, in Iraq? Would you like your country to be like this? Don't you appreciate the blessing of Allah that you have? All the food, all the shelter, all the infrastructure, all the peace that you enjoy. What, are you crazy? Yeah, they did this, they did that. And mashallah, when you were in power, what did you do? I don't talk in politics because I'm Saudi. So let's not go into these issues. But think, when you have a life going for you, maintain Allah's blessing and favor. Don't change it. Because Allah will not change it until you change it yourself. Do not raise a stick against your family. The Prophet is telling us not to beat our family, our children, our wives. There are people who use domestic violence. They have this. You don't have this in Malaysia, do you? The sister saying, yes. The brother, no. Do you have domestic violence here? These are not men. Those who hit their wives like this are not men. There is a difference between male and man. Though the category is male, but not every male is a man. A gorilla is male, but he's not man. And this is why we do not give justice to an eagle when we say that he's a bird and so is a chicken. The Prophet ﷺ never ever beaten a woman or a child in his life. Those who hit their wives are not men. If you're man enough, come and talk to her brother, especially if he's my size. Speak to her father and try to beat him if you're man enough. That don't go to the extreme of being too soft. There has to be reward and punishment. So there has to be hung in the home a stick so that the children would. I have sticks in my home. Never used it. But whenever I get angry with my grandchildren or with lots of, mashallah, grandchildren, I said, I will bring that stick and hit you on your feet. Khalas, this is enough. They know, they see it. But if it's not there, one of them would say, where is it? The Prophet had what is known as mimbar. What is the mimbar? It's the place where the Prophet climbs to give the khutbah. So it had 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. So he climbed the first one and he said, Ameen. The second one, he said, Ameen. The third one, he said, Ameen. So the companions asked him, why are you saying Ameen? He said, Jibreel came to me and he said to me, 1, 2, 3. One of them, he said, whoever attains his parents or one of them, when they are old, and he does not enter paradise through them, may Allah Azza wa Jal disgrace him. Say Ameen. So the Prophet said Ameen. So if Jibreel makes a supplication to Allah, and the Prophet says Ameen, is there a chance that Allah will not respond to it? It's impossible. So whoever has his parents or one of them alive when they're old and is not admitted to Jannah, he is definitely disgraced. So many times they criticize us, don't they? They criticize the way we look. They criticize the way we eat. They criticize our decisions in life. Sometimes they remind us of, I told you not to do this, right? You still didn't. I told you don't marry that woman. She's evil. She's bad. Now after divorce, look what happened to you. Subhanallah, this angers you. Does it show on your face? If it does, then you will be disgraced because you're hurting her feelings. You're hurting his feelings when he's old. There was a clip, I think you've seen it all. An old man sitting with his young boy in the garden, and he's commenting on something, repeating it. The father has Alzheimer maybe, and the son says, yes, father. Yes, father. And the fifth time he says, Khalas, you've said this so many times. How many times should I say yes, yes, yes? I've heard you. And the father's, like in his 80s, doesn't comment. Then the second day he brings his memoir, the father. And in the memoir, it is 40 years or 35 years ago when he's writing, my son is talking about a small bird, and he repeats the same word 15 times, and I corrected to him, and I said yes, 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 without saying any complaints. The moral is, look at how the father treated his son when he was young. He was patient with him, and look how you are treating your father or you're treating your mother. From the Sunnah, the story of Jurayj. You know Jurayj? Jurayj was a man who was worshipping Allah in his ministry. He was a monk, so he had a special place uphill. No one can reach. It's a room, and he worships Allah there 24/7. Nothing, no movies, no music, no partying, nothing. Every day his mother comes, and from below she chit-chats with him for half an hour, and she leaves. She loves her son. One day, and the hadith is in Sahih Muslim, one day she went there and said, Jurayj, and he was praying. So he was confused. Should I continue my prayer or interrupt it and answer my mom? It was voluntary prayer, it's not fard. So he thought, I will continue. The second day, same thing happened. The third day, the same thing happened, and his mother got upset and said, may Allah not take your soul until you look into the faces of prostitutes. Youngsters are saying, wow, it's good. Now we have fun. No, it's not. This is for someone who fears Allah. It's a serious thing. The Prophet tells us, see, this is something that came out. Unintentional? Maybe. But it came out. The result was, the people in the community was discussing how righteous and pious Jurayj is, and they were envious. How is he righteous and we are sinful? They wanted to destroy his reputation. So a prostitute came, a woman said, I can tempt him and seduce him. So they started putting bets. No, you cannot. This guy is too righteous. He will not look into you. She says, no, I can. So she went and called him and tried to soften her voice. Jurayj. And the guy said, what the hell? He continued praying. She softened her voice, wore her high heel and click, clack, click, nothing. Put her perfume, Gucci or whatever, Ricci, nothing worked. So there was money in stake. There's betting. So she went and saw a shepherd, a man. So she said hi, and the guy, whoa. The guy was crazy, and they fornicated, and she became pregnant. And whenever someone asked her, who's the child for, when she gave birth, she said, Jurayj is the father, so that she can make some money. The people, when they heard this, got outraged. So they came to his chamber and started breaking it. And he looked, what are you guys doing? He said, come down. So he came down, and they put him in chains. And they took him to the ruler, dragging him. He doesn't know what's happening. And I don't know what is causing all of this. On their way, they passed by a whorehouse, a brothel. And they were displaying their merchandise outside. So he looked at the prostitutes. I'm not going to do this. He looked at the prostitutes. Somebody might be offended. He looked at the prostitutes and he smiled. And the people dragging, this evil person, he's smiling at the faces of the prostitutes. It's even worse. So they took him to the ruler, and the ruler asked him, why did you do this? He said, did what? He said, why did you have this son out of wedlock? He said, he is not my son. But let me pray 2 rak'ahs, please. So they allow him to pray 2 rak'ahs. He went to the infant who is only hours old. And he poked him in his chest. And he said, who's your father? And Allah, as a miracle, made the infant speak, my father is the shepherd. Everybody said, Allahu Akbar. He didn't say this, but this is theatrical point of view. I'm adding this up. They will not clap, of course. And so they said, Allahu Akbar. And they realized his innocence. They asked him, when we were passing by the brothel, why did you smile? He said, I remembered my mother's supplication. May Allah not take your soul until you look at the faces of prostitutes as a punishment. And it was fulfilled. A story from contemporary times. This happened to one of the Saudi da'is. This name is Muhammad Bani'ma. He has a very strange story. And he always tells it, so this is not backbiting. When he was in high school, he used to smoke. And his father would sense the smell of smoke. And he said, do not smoke. If you smoke, I will be angry with you. I am not happy with you. I will not be pleased with you. One day, he said, my father came out and he saw me with a cigarette in my hand. My father, out of frustration, said, may Allah break your neck. He said, the following day, I went to school, and in the middle of the school day, we ran from the wall with few friends and went to a guest house, which had a swimming pool. So we skipped the school day. And we went swimming with the boys. He said, when I wanted to come and swim, I jumped into the pool. Not measuring the level of the water, I hit my head in the ground and broke my spine. And now the gentleman is paralyzed neck downwards. He goes to masjid, from masjid to masjid, from country to country, giving da'wah on a stretcher. He cannot even move his neck. He's just like this. You can see him on YouTube. Some of you might have seen him in Arabic only. His name is Bani'ma, Muhammad Bani'ma, or Abdullah, I'm not sure. So the man is saying that, look what this statement of my father was made a reality in less than 24 hours. Allah broke my neck. Therefore, if you have children, beware of supplicating anything bad, because Allah will respond. You never know when the heavens gates are open and Allah Azza wa Jal answers your dua. Always be positive. Why? When you make dua, you say, may Allah break your leg. May Allah do this for you. For your children, why not say, may Allah guide you? Even in frustration, this doesn't fulfill your soul. But it's good, it's positive. May Allah Azza wa Jal guide you. May Allah make you an imam. May Allah correct you. May Allah fix you. May Allah put you in paradise. The hadith that is related to the Prophet ﷺ has a terminology in the science of hadith called marfu'. So any hadith, you read this word marfu' or rafa'ahu, uplifted it, or rising high, this means that it is related to the Prophet ﷺ, that the Prophet is the one who said it. But when you hear or see the word mawquf, mawquf classifies it as the hadith of the companion, not of the Prophet ﷺ. So which hadith is this? Marfu' or mawquf? This is mawquf. So what is it? Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, saw two men walking together. So he said to the younger one, who is this to you? Who is he? So the man says, this is my father. So Abu Hurairah gave him 3 etiquettes that must be followed with the father. 1, he said, do not call him by his name. 2, do not walk in front of him. 3, do not sit ahead of him or before he does. Son may joke and feel close to his father to the extent that he calls him by name. Hey, Luqman, where do you want to have dinner tonight? So and the father might be good with it. The father might enjoy it. This is disrespectful. It is always respectful to show your father the respect needed, especially in front of people. This is realized when you call him in front of others, oh, dear father. This is how the companions used to call their parents. Secondly, do not walk in front of him. Out of humility, you always walk behind your father. He leads the way. If you need to open the door for him, open it and he goes in. But you do not walk in front of him and he follows you like he's your servant. It's the other way around. So a proper child does not walk next to his father, always behind him. 1 or 2 steps, just in case he wants to say something, you can. Don't walk like a mile away. No, close to him but behind him. And the third etiquette is that when we visit someone, it's not the first person to hit the couches. The sons usually, when they're young, the first thing they do, they sit. And their father may not find a seat and say, you don't have a seat. No, this is not the appropriate way. The appropriate way is for you to be respectful. Wait until he sits. Then you go and attend him. Would you like something to drink? Should I bring you something? This is the way that a real Muslim is to his father and to his mother, like a servant. What do we mean by kinship? In Arabic, it's called Ar-Rahim. And the word Ar-Rahim, okay, let me give you commercial break. I need to drink water. This is open. You opened it because sometimes they put something in it and out of security. So if I misbehave, you know it's not me. Hadith Anas, may Allah be pleased with him. He says, we used to love it when Bedouins come and ask the Prophet. A Bedouin came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, O Prophet of Allah, a man loves people, but he cannot do what they do. So he's referring to himself and the Prophet. He says, I love the Prophet ﷺ, but I cannot do your forms of worship and prayer, and you're so close to Allah Azza wa Jal. So the Prophet said, ﷺ, an individual, a man, a person is with whom he loves on the Day of Judgment. Anas says, we, the companions, were never happier than after hearing this hadith. Sugar and salt and pepper. Straightforward. I want something to get me closer to Jannah, further away from hell. The Prophet ﷺ told him it's very easy. Okay, worship Allah and do not associate anything with Him. Our greatest asset in this life is our tawheed. We have nothing to show on the Day of Judgment. We don't have jihad. We don't give our money for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. We don't do a lot of night prayer. We don't fast Mondays, Thursdays, and the white days. We don't offer our assistance and help to any Muslim we see. We are concealing so much to ourselves. The only thing that we can come and be proud of is our tawheed. And this is in great danger if we do not preserve it. I have a number of relatives that I try my level best to call every other week. Those who I can visit, I visit. Mainly, I just take the mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum, cuz. How are you? What you doing? And he says, oh, you always call me. I never call you. And they're apologetic and it feels good. Why does it feel good? Because I'm worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal and I'm doing it for the sake of Allah and for something else. I will tell you after why. That's why how I became multimillionaire. So I do this. One of my relatives, a cousin, I keep on calling him every other week or sometimes every week. After a while, he said, Asim, don't call me after today. I said, why? He said, if you call me, and this is literally what he said, and he said it in English. He's Saudi, but he said it in English. We have a problem of trying to be someone who we are not. The Muslims think by knowing English that they are better people. They're sophisticated. I speak English, no? I can speak it in different accents also. So he said, Asim, if you call me to score a point with your God, don't call me. Wallahi al-Azim. This is exact words. He's a Muslim. He's a Saudi. What is this? By Saudi, not meaning nationality. All Saudis are Muslim by default. We don't have Saudis who are Christians. So when I say he's a Saudi, meaning that he's born Muslim. Don't get me wrong, it's not something racist. So he's Muslim. He says, if you want to score a point with your God, don't call me. If you want to call me because I'm your cousin, go ahead. Of course, I could not tolerate myself. I cursed him a little bit. Not in the Islamic way, in your way. I said, I so many beeps and bloopers. And so I said, whatever, who you think you are to prevent Allah's rewards coming to me? If Allah did not order me to call you, I would not even cared about you. So the hell with you and what you think. And this is mine. And since then, he's straightened out. My relationship to my cousins, to my uncles, to my siblings, is governed by Islam. If Islam did not tell me to connect with them, I would not even look at them. Seriously. So Islam is what drives me to be kind to them, to tolerate their ignorance, to invite them and to answer their invitations. Otherwise, I'm a person that is unsocial. I don't like to go to gatherings. I would not, wallah, even look at them. But I have to, because Allah tells me to do. Even before you were born, when an embryo is 4 months old, the fetus, angel come and says, oh Allah, what's his name? How old he will live? How long he will live? What is his provisions? Is he in Jannah or in hell? And he writes all of this down. When you're born, he's there to protect you. One on your right, writing the good deeds. One on your left, writing the bad deeds. They protect you when you go to pray. They protect you when you are in your home. They pray to you. They ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make you among the people of Jannah. When you pray at night, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, when you want to pray at night, use the miswak. Why? The Prophet said, use it because when you start to pray night prayer an hour or two before Fajr, nobody's around you. You don't call people, hi, selfie, I'm praying. No, you're doing it for the sake of Allah. Nobody knows. Sometimes not even your wife. You start to pray and you recite Quran. The Prophet tells us the angel comes and puts his mouth in over your mouth. So whatever Quran comes from your mouth enters to him. An angel does this. Do you see the angel? No. Do you feel the presence of the angel? If you believe in the hadith, yes, I do. How will your prayer be? 5 seconds? 0 to 100? It would be with concentration, contemplation. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It comes from the heart. Because you know, this supporter is with you. He's a different one. But the angel is there. So whatever comes from your mouth goes into his. This relationship brings us to the actual reality of being bashful, of being shy, because they're all around us. Even if we are in our rooms locking the door, they are around us. So let's work hard on getting the support of this angel